Hello everyone, Reverend Elvia here, founder of AngelsTeach.com, and welcome to another video, Messages from the Angels. Before we get started, there are two things that I would like to share with you. First is that when I choose the objects, I put out a poll to the Living with the Angels members and let them select and choose which objects we're going to do a reading on. And I listed the objects and the members came back, some of them, and said, I want a bee. You didn't give us an option for a bee. So because of that, the angels have given us a little wink and would like to announce that this message is brought to you by the letter B, because you are bright, you are beautiful, and you are brilliant. And don't ever forget it. So while B can mean a lot of different things, from the bumblebee to just being to the letter, know that the message for you this month is to be bright, be beautiful, be brilliant, because you already are, and your angels know it, so should you. Second thing I would like to mention is that if you like this message, please, please, please share it with your angel-loving friends and family, because love getting the word out. My passion is to help folks get out of the head, into the heart, and really follow your angelic guidance. So our objects this month are, ready for this? The wind. Can't give you a picture of that, but envision a most beautiful memory that you have with the wind, whether it's wind chimes or looking out the window and seeing the leaves blowing, or whatever it is that wind comes to mind for you. Second object is a torch. I would be lighting it, except that the kerosene kind of stinks. So torch, picture this with a big beautiful flame. And the third object is an apple. Yummy, huh? An apple. So take a minute. You're going to see the numbers that you can fast forward, whether or not you've chosen the wind, the torch, or the apple. So you can go ahead and scoot forward if you'd like to go right to your message, or listen all the way through. Let's start with a message for the wind. I am using Tony Carmen Salerno's Gaia Oracle deck. Beautiful deck. One of my favorites that actually has quite a bit of contrast within the images and within the cards themselves, which tends to bring pretty deep messages from the angels. So, for those of you who chose the wind, the card for you is achievement. Beautiful. Well, this card is absolutely magnificent and glowing. What I'm hearing clairaudiently is that there's a level of complacency. In other words, you have reached a certain level, you have achieved a goal that was necessary for you and important for you, and the wind is all about change. It's all about movement. It's about taking you to the next level. So if you have selected the wind as your object, this is your invitation to start to think about what the next level is for you. What's next? How are you going to further your spiritual growth? How are you going to become more in tune with the truth of who you are? How are you going to be that embodiment of the earth angel that your angels and I already know you are? So understand that this is an applause for you for getting to the point that you've gotten to, and it's also a message to make sure that you're thinking about what you're going to do next, and to be clear about what your intentions are. Always being in the moment, but having as your intention in your heart that I always want to be evolving. I don't want to rest for very long. I want to always have that intention of growing and becoming the full person that I know I can be. For those of you who chose the torch, let's see what you get. What card is going to come forward for you? And the answer is remembrance. This is one of those cards that has a very deep message. There's a lot of sadness when you look into the eyes of this woman who is emerging out of the ocean. And yet she's emerging from something that was pretty heavy, a long period, or it may have been just a shorter, intense period of grief, but definitely emerging out of the grief. And excuse me, the torch is about remembering that while this isn't lit right now, it's as easy as picking up a match, setting it on fire, and voila, you have flame. Now, of course, if you're deep in grief and feeling that intense sadness, it obviously isn't as easy as lighting a match. However, it is as easy as intensifying your prayer. And what I mean by that is remembering who you really are, remembering that you are a child of God, and praying every morning and getting into that space of, you know what, I've been in this place of grieving for a long time. It's time for that to cease and desist, is what I'm hearing. It's time for me to remember that I can come out of the water, that I can ignite my inner flame, and that I can be all that I know that I'm meant to be. Your action item, if you have selected the torch, is to do just that, to pray every morning, to ask your angels to help you connect with that joyful side of who you are. There's always joy within us. You know, if you go deep enough and if you allow the space for it, there's always joy in there. So every morning, get quiet, get still, sit with your angels and say, I allow joy to return to my heart. I allow joy to return to my heart. And just breathe and feel that energy seep into you to become part of you. And over time, it might be a few days, it might be a few weeks, it might be a few months. You will start to feel that really embody you and become more than something you do every morning, become really a part of who you are throughout your day. So have faith, it's going to get better. Just be vigilant and dedicated to your spiritual practice. I want to show you something cool about an apple. If you cut it in half sideways, this is what you see. And some of you probably know this, some of you perhaps not, but it is a 5-pointed star: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So beautiful representation of the divine feminine, and some believe that this is how the apple became the forbidden fruit because the symbol is a pentagram. And so lots of different beliefs out there, but that's one of them. Certainly the apple is definitely thought of as part of the divine feminine. So let's see what card came forward for you. You apple pickers, you. And your card is Flame Tree. Beautiful. And you notice that orb almost looks like an apple between the trees. And that's the first thing that this hits me with. So that apple that's hanging between the trees, it's interesting. They almost feel like mommy and daddy trees. And those drops that look like they're coming down from the apple almost are the seeds. They're representative of the seeds coming from the apple. So this is a time of enormous growth for you who chose the apple. Enormous growth because you're planting seeds, and I'm getting the message that you may not even know that you may not even realize that you are indeed planting a lot of seeds. You're seeing them drop into these flames, and flame is about transformation. These seeds are not going to get burned up. They're actually going to transform. They're going to transform in and of themselves, and they're going to transform your life. So this is a hugely positive, hugely powerful card that has come forward, message that's come forward for you who have picked the apple. Just beautiful, beautiful energy. A lot about the divine feminine. Definitely as you are going through your life, make sure that you are, I'm hearing, pushing the boundaries. In other words, make sure that you are coming forward with what really feels right in the heart and feel safe speaking your truth, doing that, because this is a time of great transformation for you, and it's okay. You're going to be attracting people into your life that support your spiritual beliefs, that support you pushing those boundaries and really being the best and the most of who you are. So my angels are telling me that that is a wrap for this month's video messages from the angels. Thank you for joining me here, and I invite you to check us out at AngelsTeach.com and see all that we have to offer for our Living with the Angels members, as well as our classes and training. With that, I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day, and be well.